the quiet town of Thirsk, England, inside a small, unassuming museum, hangs an ordinary wooden chair. It looks harmless, aged oak, worn smooth by time. But this chair isn't placed on the floor like the others. It's chained to the wall, suspended, unreachable, because every person who ever sat on it died. And this is not a legend told in whispers. It's documented, recorded, and feared to this day. They call it Busby's Stoop Chair. The story begins in the early 1700s. Thomas Busby was a petty criminal, a drunk, and by most accounts, a violent man. He ran a small inn near the village of Kirby Whiskey, where travelers stop for ale and rest on the long road through Yorkshire. But one night, greed and temper changed everything. Busby had a partner in crime, his father-in-law, Daniel Audie. They dealt in counterfeit coins, theft, and small-time scams. But when Audie threatened to take Busby's wife away, Busby snapped. He found the old man sitting in his favorite chair at the inn. Raging with jealousy, Busby grabbed a hammer and beat him to death. Then, in a drunken haze, he dragged the body to a nearby wood and buried it. He was caught within days. In 1702, Thomas Busby was tried, convicted, and sentenced to death. Before being hanged, he was allowed one final drink at his inn, the same place where he had murdered Audie. And as he finished the ale, he stood up, stared at the chair he'd been sitting on, and cursed it. His last words, according to witnesses, were clear and sharp. "May sudden death come to anyone who dares sit in my chair." They hanged him beside the inn. The building later became known as the Busby Stoop Inn. And that's where the curse began to earn its reputation. At first, it was nothing but a local ghost story, a warning to drunk travelers. But as the years went on, accidents began to pile up. Strange, coincidental, but undeniable. In 1894, a chimney sweep who laughed off the curse sat in the chair. He never made it home, found dead on the road that same evening. During World War II, airmen from a nearby base would come to drink. The bravest would dare each other to sit in the death chair before flying missions. Not one of them returned. Local records confirm multiple pilots, names, squadrons, and dates, all perished within 24 hours of sitting in that seat. Over the decades, the pattern repeated. A cleaning worker sat to rest during her shift. She died of a brain aneurysm that night. A delivery man sat for lunch. His truck crashed minutes after leaving. Even a builder who mocked the curse while working near the inn fell through a roof the very next day. Too many stories, too many deaths. The pub owners started to fear it. They moved the chair to the basement, but even then, curiosity killed. Teenagers would sneak down to test the legend. Some never returned. By the late 1970s, the innkeeper had seen enough. He donated the chair to the Thirsk Museum on one condition: that no one ever again would sit on it. The museum agreed, and so the chair was chained high on the wall, safely out of reach. It still hangs there today. Visitors stand beneath it, staring at its legs dangling above them like an executioner's gallows. The wood is scarred, the seat polished by centuries of doomed bravado. Museum staff refuse to dust it. Some claim they've heard whispers near closing time. Soft, drunken breaths that vanish when they turn around. One guard resigned after hearing footsteps above him one night, right where the chair hangs. No one was there. Skeptics call it coincidence. They say the stories are exaggerated, the deaths unrelated. And maybe they're right. But if that's true, why risk it? Why does even the most rational visitor still hesitate before walking under it? Psychologists call it the power of expectation. Once a story of death is tied to an object, the mind becomes its accomplice. We start to believe in consequence, and sometimes belief itself becomes the executioner. But history doesn't lie. Every name linked to that chair is written in official records, police reports, obituaries, and war logs. Coincidence may explain one or two, not dozens. What's strange is that the chair itself is ordinary. No carvings, no strange symbols, no trick construction. Experts tested the wood. It's genuine 17th century oak. No hidden mechanism. No nails newer than its era. Just a chair that kills. There's one more detail most people don't know. When the museum first received the chair, they stored it temporarily in a back office on the floor. The caretaker, unaware of its history, sat on it while having lunch. That evening, he drove home, lost control of his car, and died on impact. After that, the staff mounted it to the wall, where it remains untouched for over 40 years. Even now, locals avoid standing directly beneath it. Children are warned not to point at it, as if acknowledging it might awaken something. And the museum? They refuse to insure it. Too many unexplainable incidents. Some visitors claim to feel dizzy near it. Others say they sense a pressure on their chest, like someone watching from behind. And always, that cold draft from nowhere. A reminder, maybe, that the curse still breathes. So what do we make of it? Was Busby's curse real? Or is it simply the weight of fear passed down through generations, shaping coincidence into destiny? Science will tell you there's no such thing as cursed objects. But history keeps proving that objects carry emotion, memory, and sometimes consequence. Because curses don't live in wood or metal. They live in people, in belief, guilt, and repetition. Thomas Busby cursed his chair out of anger and pride. 3 centuries later, the curse survives because people still believe in it. And as long as someone whispers his name, his story will never die. If you ever find yourself in North Yorkshire, step into the Thirsk Museum. You'll see a quiet room filled with relics of local history. And on one wall, you'll find the Busby Stoop Chair, hanging high, out of reach, like a warning. You can look, you can take pictures, you can even stand beneath it. But whatever you do, don't sit down. Because maybe, just maybe, the curse is still waiting for its next believer. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing videos.